But when you're ahead, you can get really far ahead with this hero. Like we saw it in the game with Fnatic when they had Viper. They just weren't able to turn it into anything. Like they, I think it was Seeker, right? That got over the curve of having to, where it was tough to kill the Viper.
Yep.
And once that happened, the hero just like falls apart. Oh, Phantom Lancer.
Team Empire's turn to battle.
There's not a whole lot on Empire side that counters that right now.
Yeah, they got very little clearance.
They actually have almost none right now.
So we need one last call that Horvath gets to play, which has clearance against the PL. You could just put him into something more like that safe lane, like anti-mage, get Battle Fury up on him and just go from there. But
5 seconds
I think
like, what's the other counters which you prefer up against a PL?
Ember's pretty good.
Reserve time.
But at the same time,
I'm trying to think right now. I think Ember's not bad though.
Is Horvath really like an Ember style player though? In his mindset,
everyone can play Ember. Ember's a fun hero. You just right click people. Unless you're doing something really weird like carry Earthshaker or something like that. Probably gonna pick. The Gyrocopter's been banned out already. I assume Secret will ban another hero kind of around that.
10 seconds.
You know, something that can clear out, and then Empire will be left with whatever's left.
5 seconds remaining.
Because Secrets still need their own mid hero too, and the Alchemist would have been really good, but Sven's gonna get banned out. Oh, that was another hero. That's really good at that.
the Cleave boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Just naturally good against the PL.
I feel like it's weird to take AM here, but it is one of Vose's signatures.
Yeah.
You don't know what the mid's going to be, though. It gives plenty of time for Secret to just... Like, if Secret just take Meepo, Meepo destroys AM, by the way. It's not even close.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, what if you look at it from a different angle? What can shut down the PL?
5
If you're running a
seconds
VS and Dazzle as a on the off lane and you run a tri lane, what else can destroy the PL in that lane? A VS core then.
Yeah.
The disruptor pickup will be there and they'll look for the early damage to kill off the PL.
I think it's one or the other. It's either you deal with it by just punishing in the early mid game so that the PL can never get online, or you try to go with the late game, but it feels like Empire, they're just like, okay, we'll get a mech on our Viper and then just go for it. That means Secret, they need a hero mid that can help them weather the storm or kind of get control themselves, and Voker would have been pretty perfect for
10
that.
seconds remaining.
They banned out the Wind Ranger themselves.
5 seconds remaining.
So looking for stunning control. Who else is really left in that then?
Reserve time.
I don't even know if you necessarily need stunning control. Maybe this is the one game for the... I can't even say the new puck. I feel like Viper just destroys him. There's not a whole lot of heroes that Viper doesn't destroy, though. The Disruptor makes things really weird, because there are plenty of heroes that you could take before, maybe even something like the Brewmaster.
What if you grab something more like the Zeus, where you're able just to burst down Team Empire, and then they just they have to back off because of that?
Those are really tanky heroes on Empire. They've got good chase, too. I really like Empire's lineup right now. If it wasn't for the fact that Secret had the PL. Like, I feel like Empire's lineup is pretty good against most of the mid heroes.
They go for a Razor.
Okay, so then you pick the one hero that is kind of okay against everything.
But he can't really impact. Like, if Team Empire forced the issue, Razor could just find himself getting glimpsed back into a wall and have no way to get back out again.
You need something that can frontline in mid-game for your team, because you don't necessarily need an ultra late-game hero in your mid lane. You just need something that can help the PL weather the storm and does okay laning-wise against Resolution.
Well, the Razor can do that.
Razor don't care if he gets disrupted.
Really?
What do you get silenced? You get your chain off first.
I'd be worried that the disruptor would rotate in with just the dazzle, and they just slow you down, thunder strike you up, and the Viper's already got his own slow and extra damage, and they just rip through him. They just destroy the life points of the Razor.
Maybe we'll see. The laning phase it's going to be a laning phase battle for sure.
Yeah, Puppy's already moved down here. A very quick TP brought both the Observer wards. And just gets that very early ward down. Are they bringing sentries out? Yeah, they're bringing 2 sentries with Aloha Dance, and more than likely, like, he's going to deward this position. So Puppy puts the ward in just a little bit more of an unusual angle, but it's able to watch the river. Does it actually see up the river, or is that his position right now? No, that ward actually sees the... It doesn't see up to the rune spot, but it sees a fair way up the river.
It's more unlikely to get dewarded too, which is important, because that X, wherever the X is or whatever, is the most common place to put it. So you just sentry around that area closer to the middle so that you can get it in case it's on the far right as well. Ooh, that's interesting. Resolution has just a fairy fire and ironwood branches.
Yeah, just the boots as well. It really feels like he just wants to run down the Razor. Like, the boots will at least, allow him to escape out from the static link, so the Razor can't steal too much damage. And if he does get that 2-1 build, which has been more popular for the Vipers, he's got kill potential against the Razor.
Yeah.
And if he does that, then the Bane has to move off the bottom lane, and then Empire get even more space with their aggro lane. And maybe that's the play, where you add more pressure onto Weeha, to a point where if he doesn't have help, he ends up dying.
Razor's just an annoying hero to play mid against. Like, it's not easy to trade. Like, the first few hits, Resolution can do it, but that's why he's decided to go for the boots first. It's because you need to play the game where you're simply just trying to play around the static. So you slow him down once, then he tries to chain you, and then you just run and disengage. Then you can play the poison game again. Because a lot of your damage won't... Even if it's stolen, you have Nether Toxin to back you up, so you're okay. I like it. I'm seeing the Fairy Fire more and more often too, which I think is pretty interesting.
Hopefully these problems don't last too long for Empire, so we're going to be good to go. Once we get the game started, we seem to be really, really good. It's just
We have not had lag or anything like that. The games are kind of going out.
We had one moment where where I lagged earlier today, but
Yeah.
that was it.
It's been this.
Yesterday we had 2 moments, but it was both of them were inside one game.
We've been here since like what 3:33. So it's been about 8 hours. We have another 8 hours to go then after this.
Yeah, you're looking about 7 actually at the moment.
7 hours, not bad.
Yeah.
I guess it is only one group stage, so there's not going to be a whole lot of delays. Easy.
And Empire, they're keeping their distance here. They're very cautious about moving into that Radiant
30
jungle.
seconds to
And
battle.
instead they draw the line to loop around. They still want to contest for the bottom rune, but Secret brought their entire team here. So if they contest, they'll have to fight for it.
There's 15 seconds left on the clock, and Empire are going to head towards the top area. Going to give this up. Not interested in fighting level 1 against Bane Undying.
They're actually going to dodge the lane. They're going to force Fnatic to come down here and play the
Oh,
bottom lane.
misery.
This is,
No, he didn't get the block off. It was so close.
Resolution will still get it. Alright, so it will be a Puppy Paladin support down here on the bottom lane, helping out Eternal Envy to get a lot of farm early on. Weeha will try and play this mid after grabbing that rune as Misery. He's running escort service for the courier. Just to give Weeha that extra little bit of regeneration through the south.
He also didn't get his boots early. So it's just delivered to him right now.
Paladin just walking through. Needs to help out. He can't really do that much up against Resolution, however. Like, I don't think he really cares if he gets decayed or not.
No, Viper's not in any position that he's going to die. Yeah. He does have some damage stolen from him, but it's kind of pointless. Some strength, I mean.
It doesn't really last that long either.
Alright, here's the target, though, that you want to do it to.
No fear. Resolution slowing down Weeha, however, and if he does come in a little too close, then the Shadow Wave's always going to be there from No Fear. And they actually Sentry Ward. With a Tango, he's going to get consistent regeneration, but more importantly, removing that high ground vision of Team Secret in the mid lane.
Pie's making this so annoying right now. He's got 959 HP. Like, you notice Resolution doesn't even want to right-click him. It's like, this is pointless. Just like, that's an Undying. No, like, watch. He's just like, most of the time you'll see people waste poison and stuff on the support, but he's just like...
they're moving for Misery. Can they... No, again, they're not going to get there in time. There's no way. It's like it was a glimpse from a Disruptor, but Misery's already been forced off that top lane. And he's got 1 Shards available, which he could potentially just throw into the middle lane and then just back up. But he's going to walk out. Funny's getting a lot closer than I thought he was going to on this bottom lane. Still not great as far as his experience gain goes, because he hasn't hit level 2 just yet, so there's no bash. But he cuts deeper. He's going into the classic Jimmy spot. Surprised Puppey didn't just chase in after it. In fact, yeah, there's the TP out. Goes all the way back to base, and then he'll charge himself back to the lane.
This haste rune, Pylai die, sitting on top of it.
He's getting charged.
Yeah, he's got a haste though. How do they...
There's no bash, so No Fear is doing the damage. He's trying to force Pylai die to fight into this.
Yeah, he's trying to scare him, but there's almost no way that he dies.
Fnatic's not going to complete his charge. A resolution. He's going to turn. He didn't actually go for the 2-1 build. I thought he might do so. Instead, he just goes for the 1-1-1 build across the board.
I think it's a lot better against the Undying and the Razor. But Fnatic continues to get zoned out, not having nearly as good of a game as he did in the last one, where he was given the one-on-one matchup.
Puppey managed to find Fnatic finally.
Yeah.
He's just looping around the tree lines.
Doing more of a standard setup is Secret, as they just want to try to slow down the offlaner and try to give Envy as much fun as possible, because he's their main hero.
But they do that at the cost of giving him forced all the space up on the top lane, and maybe that's where we should be turning our attention towards what is really the timing we're looking for. Like, when does the PL come online? When does the VS... When do they both have an impact on this map?
And the PL is going to have an impact a little bit later. The VS wants to try to get aggressive with the rest of her team. Or at least that's what I expect. The PL doesn't have to get aggressive, but Secret do like rotating Envy in if he's not playing a hero like Anti-Mage, which is hard farm. And now with the second level of Static Link, you see Weehaw get gone on by resolution, but so much of his damage has been taken away, and Pylai die right there with the Soul Rip. Just making this as bothersome as possible.
This is probably the most passive start to any WCA game we've had so far. But it's so even. Like, you look at the farm between the mids, there's 14-6 up against 11-5. The safe lanes, 29-10 up against 26-7. Even the levels over on the Spirit Breaker compared to the Tuskar, you're looking at just over 2 for both of them. There's really nothing in this game, apart from, okay, experience coming into somebody here on the map. That's given an Empire a 1k advantage early on.
Yeah, and Weehaw, he's got boots now too. Should be in an okay position against this Viper. Already was doing quite decently. Both the cores are kind of shutting each other out. Like, the Viper's doing a good job of slowing down the Razor and vice versa. It's really just the one positions that are having a free time of it, like you said. It's hard to slow those. It's really hard to slow those down. Like, I don't know if it's possible for Empire to gank EE before the Disruptor hits 6, which is why you notice that Aloha Dance, instead of even zoning or anything like that, he's just focusing on getting pulls off and making sure that he's getting his own levels, because he realizes that in this type of game, the most impact that he can have is just to be greedy.
And that's actually where that 1k levels were. I was wondering, like, the 1k experience is coming from. Man, Resolution needs to stop missing uphill. Well, 2 easy attacks to go into the raid, obviously it's not his choice.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Misery's actually rotating down. They're looking for a kill down on bottom lane. It's the Spirit Breaker. A hero that Misery can't stop from charging away. They're going to Nightmare. TP support's already on its way. This is Dazzle coming in very, very early. And now Dazzle, they charge over towards the PL. Buy space for that Shallow Grave to kick off on Spirit Breaker. TPing out in time, and No Fear gets back behind the Tier 2 tower. So a full hero commitment from Team Secret, unable to find the first blood, but they will be able to take this Tier 1 tower.
This is pretty crucial for them right now. You want to try to get aggressive as possible, get control of this area, and most importantly, by taking them this tower, it makes it harder for them to rotate in, and you can secure your own Tier 1 tower a lot easier. Like, it's going to make it harder for Empire to invade the jungle, like we often see teams do when they're on the dire side.
Like, going after Fnatic. He charged himself in, so there's no escape, and that Soul Rip damage is quite high. The undead minion still chasing him into the tree line, but Dazzle back to the front lines, but there's no Shallow Grave available. So Spirit Breaker is having to charge away. The minions or the illusions both attacking him.
I believe he's okay, and he's trying to soak up XP, gets his salve cancelled. Has to be a little bit careful, but he does have a main go, but I doubt he wants to use it for this, especially when No Fear's there with the Grave ready.
How's that Glimpse looking? I'm waiting until the range is also increased on Glimpse by the lens. glimpse on from halfway across the map. Disruptor's actually going to go in for the urn, so Empire maybe looking to fight a lot more as far as getting like urn charges with the Disruptor pick.
Someone should almost always get one when you're playing aggressively. It just
I just
allows you
thought it
to
would go like on to someone more like the Spirit Breaker, like into Fnatic and get the Arcane Boots on Disruptor.
I think Fnatic is way too far behind for him to get that. Like, he's only level 3 with no boots. Like, you're thinking way too far ahead, Toby.
I am.
This guy's struggling to get boots.
Give him some space then.
Yeah,
rotate a Vorst out with the rest of the heroes. Let him have an impact on the map, because right now he's got Treads and Aquila, but that farm's not being used on anything. And he's kind of like, I kind of feel like a Vorst is the man on the clock, not the PL.
But now Weehaw just continues to farm out.
Oh, hello, First Blood.
Oh.
Radiant's top tower
Okay.
is under attack.
Screw the clock. The Vorst is going to solo kill over on a Tusker.
2 urn charges, almost level 6 now. Everything goes well for Aloha God.
And this is...
He attacks so much.
It's a very weird day
Radiant's
when
top
a
tower
Vengeful
is under
Spirit, like
attack.
Tusker was meant to be the thing. And the Vorst made him look like nothing.
He did see some nerfs.
He did. Not that heavy though. TPs are coming to the top lane. Misery smoked up and a double damage over on that Phantom Lancer. It's not going to last for long, and a Vorst as well as Disruptor need to get out of here. The wall can't come up right now, and well, Disruptor actually locks the Vorst in there with him. So a Vorst is going to go down. There's enough damage from Disruptor to find the kill with the urn charge, but he can't TP out in time.
Radiant's
So
top
we'll allow
tower is
EE to
under
get himself a
attack.
double kill on that Phantom Lancer. First rotation from the PL and a very successful one.
This is what I meant when it comes to Secret not playing like the anti-mage or something like that. They do try to get Eternal Envy involved a little bit sooner than they normally do. Like, they want him to be the hero that rotates in. They're willing to kind of use him so that they can get control of the map. But just an awkward engagement overall.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Advantage is still slightly in Empire's favor, but you can kind of feel things slowly starting to swing back up, especially after that.
Whenever I see a PL get that many kills, like those 2 kills, especially on the safe lane of Empire.
Come on, man.
It's
Last game.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'm happy to be wrong. I'll be wrong. No problem. I'll put my hand up for that. But still, Eternal Envy getting bigger and bigger.
Dire's top tower is
No
under
fear
attack.
coming up to the top. There's that TP coming in. It's going to be Resolution looking for the opening. And Dazzle just runs straight up to the Bane. And that'll probably be the easiest kill for him. The rest of Secret might just bail out this one. Puppy is dead in the tree line. Nothing is going to save him from that. And then, well, there's your glimpse. A drag back Eternal Envy, but the wall was nothing. He's still not doing his work. And with the snowball forward, both Aloha as well as No Fear, they're just way too low. The Lancers will fly forward, and there's more kills coming the way of Eternal Envy. 3-0-1 now on the board.
Oh, Weehaw's going to come in too.
They got shards. They got shards available as well as Snowball in 4 seconds time, but Resolution can't run any further into the tree line, so Weehaw just going to steal his damage. The Snowball's going to be there, and Weehaw can just turn that damage into the creep wave, or just take out the tier 1 tower as well, or why not both?
That flank in from Weehaw makes things so difficult for Empire to continue to fight into. And they do get a kill, but, I mean, giving up 3 in a row right there on top of the tower, not looking too pretty for them. And Weeha's going to rotate back mid. He's got 1,200 gold now. This Viper is not doing nearly as well as we expected, although he does almost have the mech completed. And once that item completes, Toby, I feel like the fights are going to start to turn around at least a little bit.
It's at that point when Vorst can actually be involved, because Vorst wasn't even there. He's farming up on the bottom lane and pushing down the tier 1 tower. He did take that tier 1 tower. But you're not really feeling the presence of Team Empire with all of their damage.
You've got
but now
time,
you get an 11-minute diffusal blade.
That is pretty scary, but you've still got time. Like, you don't have to rush anything. And this might be their next objective, is the Roshan, as the ward should not, there's no way that it spots in, and I don't know if they'll suspect this.
The pings are coming, but that's the pings coming out from Resolution.
Yeah, Resolution might just be saying, like, they're all missing, let's chill for a second. That's going to be a 3-man smoke, as Misery was just outside the range of it. 4-man smoke.
Whose Satyr is this?
It's
it's a Voss.
It's Voss, yeah.
Okay.
I saw him pick it up earlier. It's got Purge. It's pretty sick.
It's just hovering around the pit.
the goat man, the blue goat man, just kind of hanging around, wants to make sure there's no shenanigans happening.
Well, look towards the middle lane. That's where it's going to start. The Observer Ward down from Secret.
Dire's middle tower
Seeing
is
perfectly
under
back
attack.
behind that tier 1 tower. And, well,
Radiant's
Empire, they
bottom
start their
tower is
charge
under attack.
going towards Eternal Envy so they can follow the real one. But no, stun over on Puppey as Avos trying to back himself up. They got Weehard there, and the Doppelganger actually dodging the attack from Fnatic as he charged himself
Oh,
in.
that tombstone placement is going to make it really difficult for them to fight.
How does Empire even getting close now?
I think you stop trying to charge EE because he's almost always dodging that, and he's even leveled the Doppelganger earlier than most people expect. With the Diffusal Blade up too, it's going to be a bit difficult to actually engage
Glimpse
this.
wall. Go on Weehard. That was a very warped plasma field, but still Weehard's going to go down. The charge in from the Spirit Breaker's working nicely, and the Nether Strike pushing him back. The VS swapping Puppey deeper inside the lines of Empire, but the Spirits, they're chasing after the Spirit Breaker. But the Nightmare, he actually ended up taking it off him and then allowing the Dazzle to heal him up. So Fnatic, nice little control using Puppey's abilities against him.
That mech timing too. Like at the very beginning of the fight, Resolution is just like, the courier, you gotta get here. It manages to deliver the mech in time. This is going to be a full Roshan for them.
Surprised Resolution's able to have the mana to use the mech when you have a Diffusal Blade on the field.
Oh man, no fuel's tied right there. Gotta be careful, but this is a pretty early Roshan, especially with how that mid-fight went. Done a really good job so far of playing out this post-laning phase engagements. And this is the interesting part now where you're wondering, okay, well, Secret had some control. That top fight was excellent for them, but all of a sudden you've got an Aegis up on Empire, they've got the mech completed, they just want a team fight. What else can they do with that? They didn't even lose their mid tower.
Yeah, they keep it alive. But what they do have is still the top net worth of belonging to the Phantom Lancer. You still got a 7.2k net worth PL. They have to have ways to deal with this, and it looks like Avos is currently just going for survivability with the Helm of the Dominator and starting up for the Yasha. Is it worth... I guess is it an S and Y game, or is it just meant to be like a casual Yasha into something a little bit more effective at cleaning out the PL?
Could get... I don't know, S and Y's not bad. Could get a Manta, but I don't think it's as good.
Because what do you really break? Like, you don't disjoint Static Link. You don't get rid of any kind of effect from the Undying.
S and Y is really good though. Like Yasha alone gives you a lot of things that you need on a hero like Venge. Really mediocre move speed, some damage for free. It's pretty good overall. What I'm really looking for right now is whether or not Empire can get aggressive all over the map now. They do have a mid hero that's a little bit less active than the Invoker was the last game. Like, Invoker was the perfect hero to complement, because you knew if the Spirit Breaker was charging in, they were almost always going to get a kill. But Viper is so immobile that things are a little bit different. It's almost like they have to be a little bit more static and change the role of the Spirit Breaker. As somebody, instead of stopping split pushes, he's going to be the person that initiates fights for you.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, Avos just hide. You don't want to go into that secret lineup. Not while Empire are going to find the better trade-off, which is just the top lane push. And looks like Secret are moving up to fight this.
They know that Havos is not there. This might actually be a decent fight for the Mosaic. He's pretty far away too, but it is an Aegis, and the Glimpse is not going to bring him back too far. This is probably just going to be a denied tower.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Not really what Empire's searching for. They only 3-man smoke, I don't know if they actually missed the Spirit Breaker then on purpose.
I do not believe that was on purpose, but they might just be showing him solo, because the timing of this is a little bit weird. Maybe they think Secret might think that Empire is farming, but
X marks the spot for the kill. Pylai Die walks to the spot, and the Disruptor ulti, it comes out. Pylai Die just burns inside of it. They were charging over, actually switched over to Weehar, giving them that vision nice and quick, and that will allow for the glimpse back. So Weehar, in the middle of the fight, stealing Resolution's damage once again. He has to break out from this one.
No Fear?
And let No Fear actually get the kill. He's going to Shallow Grave to try and stay alive, and yep, there goes Weehar. No Fear will survive through this.
the Phantom Lancer manages to stay alive. He's just harassing out with the lances, but with 3 members of their team dead, he's got to be careful as they do have a glimpse available.
There's 15 one-shot.
Oh, he just uses his wand?
triggers, and then the Magic Missile kicks in. The Vorse led a little bit more, but his teammates just weren't ready for it.
No, I don't think that they have enough catch potential there either. Like, the Spirit Breaker's completely out of mana. I think you just have to disengage back, reset the fight. you should not be too greedy. Getting 3 kills there, not losing anybody, and putting some pressure on the map. Getting a Razor Core once again. This is the hero that if they're going to shut down, if you can't get the Phantom Lancer, this is the next best thing.
Catching out Puppey with a wave of terror. His army's been removed, but the charge comes further in. Looking for Pylite Dive. It's a huge snowball forward, actually allowing Puppey to get that brain stamp. But Resolution, he knows his targets. He brings down the Bane, focuses on the Misery with the Viper Strike, but the damage output is just a little bit too high from Team Secret. We are able to get that revenge kill into Horvost.
It's a pretty big pickup for them too. And when it comes to even footing, it does seem like it's pretty hard for them to fight into. Really good snowball overall by Misery, closing the distance, making sure that the Bane was able to just eke out a little bit more.
Aloha Dance tried to be as confident as he possibly could then. Like he glimpsed back, threw out the ulti and just hoped you catch out the PL, but Doppelganger. At level 4 with the 10-second cooldown, there's just so many different ways he can just like run away from the Empire initiation.
They really couldn't quite afford to lose their Vengeful Spirit here, though. Especially with the Phantom Lancer.
TP's coming, but Fnatic hits the perfect time and gets the stun instantly into that ulti. Looking for the bash onto Misery. Hasn't got it yet. The snowball will start, as well as the Walrus punch.
He can block him out.
He's got charge in 1 second time and use the one charge just to make sure he's got... Oh, wow.
All right. Clips him on the way in.
Radiant's middle tower
Not like this, Fnatic.
That's, You can't blame him for it. He had no vision of the Razor making his move.
No, I thought that was going to be a free kill.
Yeah.
He also got... I don't know if that was unlucky, but he didn't get any bashes there. If he got just one bash there, that would have been a kill on Misery when he was going for the windup. Unfortunate.
It was. It
Radiant's
was.
bottom tower
It is the
under
SMY
attack.
build coming in from the Vengeful Spirit.
It's going to be the Dragonlance for Resolution.
It's the range. We saw Mushi really exploiting this earlier. Just sit at max range. And with all the poison, with all the attacks, he can just keep people so far away from you. Not to mention, it's just naturally good item. Man, that's a lot of... That's illusions and undying minions. It's just a whole bunch of green bars trying to take care of these Radiant Ancients. Well, welcome back. Glimpsing back this time around, PL didn't have the doppelganger. They need to keep him controlled here. And there's the bash, and they've got him down for 50 seconds. That's a big window open for Team Empire.
Yeah, and they have to get aggressive here. With the Phantom Lancer dead, this is one of your better opportunities, because even if you kind of trade evenly in the fight, without the PL there getting levels and experience, and potentially helping out the rest of his team, this is something that you do want to try to get aggressive on. They might even just decide to broach into the high ground. Resolution attacks from so far away.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Doesn't even have to come in close. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
But Team Secret, they're, yeah, 17 seconds till PL's back up again, and Weeha has added too much pressure on bottom lane. They have to TP back to defend it.
Yeah, you're giving up a little bit too much. And the likelihood, probably what forced them back, is the likelihood of going to the high ground and doing more than just damage and getting racks is incredibly unlikely. Especially when you don't have the Disruptor Static Storm up. Like, there's almost no chance that you fight without that.
Team Secret are making a way now up through the middle lane.
That feels better.
But where do you want to go? You can head towards the tier 1 tower, but you're walking around with a team with no smokes. So finding the earlier kill before you go for these towers just doesn't happen. You got to fight directly in.
Empire most likely just going to wait for another pick-off engagement. Go for a Roshan. High ground is something that they do want to eventually consider, because once again they are against a Phantom Lancer who is getting quite a bit of farm. He's just an ultimate orb away from the Manta style. Although the Disruptor still does a pretty good job of handling him. Like, that's the one thing for Empire right now, is that the Static Storm does rip him apart.
Just got to catch him inside of it.
Yeah. Easier said than done.
It is. Well, Spirit Breaker gets to run past the 2 Observer wards from the Radiant side that's in the mid lane. One of them's going to time out, so it's not as bad. But just shows the fact that Empire are getting ready to attack down here. All 5 heroes clustered up together. The mech now has arrived for Misery, so there's a little bit more survivability for Team Secret.
Empire have to do this, though.
Like,
you just have to get aggressive all around the map. And they've got a lot of items. Like, they have tons of teamfight items. They've got a 4-staff. Havos has a lot of mid-game items. So does Resolution with the mech and the Dragonlance. On top of the fact that the Disruptor's got a 4-staff, and Vlad's on onto Fnatic. And
Secret didn't even finish the tier 1
Dire's
tower.
top tower is under attack.
The fortification came out from Empire and stopped them from taking it, so a tier 2 tower has been taken. The bottom tower is now taking a third of its life off. You're going to go for the shards. The Nightmare's over on the Viper. And a follow-up Fiend Script's going to go out, but the charge, too good from Fnatic. Just charges in, cancels it off, and Resolution throws both the ulti as well as the mech to the life, very quickly coming back into Team Empire.
Weeha's gonna go down
is
so
way
bad.
too far forward, and both are down without buyback, allowing Empire
they have
just
the
now
glimpse?
breach.
Is under attack.
Aloha Dance was looking for it.
Radiant's
But
bottom tower has fallen.
he went down so quickly. Like,
Radiant's
Weeha
bottom
had so much
barracks
negative
are
armor
under
with the weave, and No Fear cast the medallion on him. He
Radiant's bottom
actually just got
barracks
4-shot,
has
and
fallen.
that's a full lane of Rax, and they might just go for the mid one too.
Yeah.
They have to know that the Razor doesn't have buyback, or he would have already expended it. And you've got to be careful, because the Disruptor is one of the better heroes in this scenario where you can chase in, but you can't really afford to lose 2 sets of Rax here this early on. It would just mean that the next Roshan just becomes a sieging fest.
You don't want to, but they've got the auras to do it now. Secret, that's a big ulti from Disruptor. Catches out the PL, Eternal Envy. Can't really fight from here until finally it'll disappear, but Misery, he's the man that sacrificed his life to create the space. They pull back in the swap onto the PL as he tries to make more copies, but Envy is down, and so is the Bane. Things are going horribly wrong for Team Secret, but wonderful for Team Empire. They will take out that mid-melee Rax.
They're
Even
not
if they
taking
lose
any
their entire
damage.
team, this is still going to be worth it. The buyback coming out from Eternal Envy, but Highlight Die, he just can't run. Resolution keeps up with him too easily. It's an ultra kill. It's a GG. 24 minutes in. Empire